Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
July 25, 2020, the Goldman Settles edition. Today we're going to focus exclusively on the Goldman Sachs settlement with Malaysia. I've listed 4 articles from the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post, and Financial Times. Goldman agreed to pay $2.5 billion in cash to the government of Malaysia for its role in the theft of billions from the Government Investment Fund 1MDB. Goldman also guaranteed the recovery of $1.4 billion in assets allegedly stolen, not allegedly, but actually stolen from the fund. The $3.9 billion total is because Goldman was the main banker for 1MDB. The bank raised millions of dollars for the fund, which was stolen by the people working for the fund, government official, and of course, 2 senior Goldman bankers. Goldman had tried to claim that they were defrauded by their own employees, Timothy Lyser and Roger Ng, over these, but of course they were their employees, and those employees were heavily compensated by Goldman based upon the sale of these bonds. The bonds themselves were $600 million in bond offering. After the bonds were whisked through the Goldman Sachs process, the money was then stolen from the 1MDB fund by J. Lo and the then Prime Minister of Malaysia, Rajak Najib. Goldman's role in this has been well documented. Timothy Lyser has pleaded guilty. Roger Ng has pleaded guilty. They are both cooperating with the U.S. government. What is now left open for Goldman Sachs is the settlement with the United States of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act claim. The FCPA claim has been reported to be in the range of $2 billion, but the sticking point is that Goldman does not want to have to plead guilty to criminal charges. It's unclear whether the settlement in the United States regarding the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act component will require Goldman to plead guilty for criminal charges. Of course, this is Trump's Department of Justice, so as we know, anything is possible, particularly of friends of Trump or for any company that would make a large campaign donation to Trump. If it does come down to that, I think it would make a clear show the travesty of justice coming out of the Department of Justice. But we don't have to face that question as yet because there's been no settlement. This settlement with Malaysia is certainly a first step towards a resolution of the FCPA issues. If there is a settlement in the range of $2 billion, and this would make the settlement in the range of $5.96 billion, which would be the largest settlement ever. The amount of theft is just staggering from 1MDB. This has been very well reported by the Wall Street Journal. They've really taken the lead on this story. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the United States, but a massive settlement. Kudos to Malaysia for hanging tough and garnering a large settlement from Goldman Sachs, and for Goldman a chance to hopefully put this chapter behind it and begin to move forward to do business ethically as well. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Daily Compliance News, which is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio.